It's June 25th, 1996. We're just near West Bay, heading towards the head of it. We're approaching Intosh Cove. We're flying at 300 feet at about 80 knots. The winds are picking up, but it's a sunny day. We're fighting the sun a little bit. We've just gone by a quarry. The geology around here is granites, and then it switches back into the horseshoe formation in a few minutes, so we must be near a contact here.
We just went by what looked to be a transverse ridge extending offshore, but on the whole, the shoreline along here is a narrow fringing beach, sand pebble, with a stabilized backshore, some places erosional cliff. Less than 15 meters relief. It's hard to see what's in the near shore at the moment, but as we come up to the headland from Intosh Cove, there's a small barrier and a larger one at the head of the cove, and there's a fair bit of sand deposits just off that shore. And there appears to be a small outlet at the west end of the barrier. And as we head to the other headlands of Intosh Cove, called McInnes Point, there's more sand deposits in the near shore, but it's a erosional cliff about 8 to 10 meters high. And on the other side, more fringing beach again. More sand deposits just off the beach.
There's several really nice drumlinoid deposits along here, and they're connected to the main shore by these very small, narrow beaches. There's going to be one coming up in the view right now. Some of them have a small inlet cut through them, others don't. This one is mostly pebble material, some sand offshore, but there's actually more cobble and boulder in the front of this one than some of the other ones. The one on the far side is more sandy, but again, it has a lot of pebble material.
West of Big Pond, the shoreline changes into riprap along the edge of the highway, artificial, and then back into a fringing beach and a small barrier with dune vegetation on the backside of it, very narrow, more sandy beaches. And as we get into more cottage country here, you see some wharves and a seawall protecting this real estate. More sand and pebble shore. At Dunphy Head, we get an erosional cliff, almost a complete free face, about less than 15 meters in elevation, probably about 8 meters. And it's feeding this barrier farther to the west.
We're going by the Dundee Resort area, and the outer shore is a flanking spit and a couple of small islands just in the foreground, and then you'll see the golf course and the resort in the background as we go by. There's two ways into this area. There's two channels with the island in the middle. On the inner part of the harbor, you've got a yacht marina just coming into view now. And behind the island, which is a sort of a drumlinoid deposit, erosional, and then a causeway leading to that. The marina is probably connected to the resort, but I don't know for sure. Go back up into the river, the Black River. We're just going up the Black River short ways. See, there's floodplain deposits and a lot of grass, shallow shoals in the inner harbor. There's a meandering channel on both sides of the embayment, and then the floodplain is at the end, and you can see it's quite well vegetated and outlines the edge of the river. Circle and head out of the Black River area and back onto the main shore past Ballam Head. And we're traveling we're just a little over 750 feet now, going over the Dundee Resort and heading back to the main shore. We're just at about 700 feet right now, and just circling at 90 knots over the resort area, and then we'll head towards McIntosh Point and West Bay. Coming up to McIntosh Point in West Bay. Time is 12:32, and erosional scarps with intermittent barriers with the road in behind. McIntosh Point again is another one of these erosional headlands, and flanked by a barrier on the one side and a low beach on the other. It's almost continuous cliff. Just offshore there's pebble cobble boulder material. We come around McIntosh Point, we pick up the barrier and the dune grass and other grasses in behind. It's more wetland grass actually, because it's not that much sand. Looks like a driving range for the golf course. And the shore as we head towards West Bay, which used to be a flourishing center in the 1870s, but when the railway came in and bypassed it, and then the highway bypassed it, it's been less of a center since. The big time was 1870s. Along this shore, you've got the partially destabilized cliff in the order of probably 8 to 15 meters, fringing beach, pebble, cobble, and boulder material in the near shore. Quite a few what look to be lobster traps along here. And several cottages, a few wharves extending out offshore. We're just going by the entrance to West Bay. See, the entranceway is marked by a broken barrier. It's more of a flanking spit now, and then enclosed the cuspate spit on the one side and a linear one on the other. Very shallow, sort of sandy just offshore. And it's a popular anchorage. And we're just picking up some of the yachts there now. There are sailboats that are anchored in there, and then the village of West Bay. And that's where we'll terminate our filming at 12:35.